Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's English stream. Not with the twins. No, we have some special guests today, so you will have to put up with me, Crysantos. I hope you know me by now. But I'm not alone here. We also have today the one and only, the mighty Lordofdroid with us. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
How are you
Thank
doing
you for
today?
having me.
But he's not our only guest. No, we also have a special guest from St. Petersburg today with us. And you've seen him already a few times on the stream, but he will see Mr. Shonai. Hello.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Lordofdroid.
Yes, so what we thought what we could do today is actually have a little bit of a Q&A session, but also show you the new ranked format. We already had the first test season. Now the second season is actually live, so we're going to be playing a bit of ranked. You get to basically, backseat game and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Especially Lordofdroid will be enjoying this very much, and you can ask all of your questions that you have around this mode, its future, and also any other questions that you might have about the game, so we can actually address it.
Just to be very clear, I was supposed to play and Crysantos was supposed to commentate, which have been more fun. But now I'm the evil one who has to, being an average player, when he dies and then he tells you didn't do this, it's because of you I'm not winning, and you because you don't smoke me and you don't radar, and I'm gonna do that now.
Exactly. Look, we all love to do it, including me. I love to stand next to something and say like, hey, you should have done this. Clearly, this is the choice that you should have made, but you didn't.
I can't wait to tell you this.
Exactly.
I hope you play without detonation flag as well, so that I can tell you, I told you.
Well, we can actually go through a bit like what kind of setup I would recommend, and later on, if we want to, we can actually swap. But we just need to basically switch seats because we had some sound issues with the other PC, and we didn't want you to go through this. You already had this last week. Yeah. So let's let's start off a bit with who's Shonai and what you're doing. Why do we have you as a special guest? So maybe introduce yourself a bit, Shonai, and what do you do on a daily basis for World of Warships?
So I'm a member of a team in St. Petersburg which is working with all the regional teams, regional community managers. We prepare the publications for our portal for example, like patch notes, the articles about particular events, and also we work with feedback. We serve like a bridge between development team and community teams. The team was founded by, you probably know, by Octavian a long time ago, but now he went up, and the team is run by Vessery, who you also may see on different streams. Also, I run community contributors program, so if any one of our beloved contributors is here in chat, then hello to you. I already see the mentions of my cats.
Yes. So you have to introduce your cat as well,
we need
because
to see the cat.
is it a he or
close
she?
and personal.
So this is one of my two cats, Casimir.
What?
And
hello.
yeah,
not giving a single fuck about being on camera.
I believe he will come closer.
Where is the second one?
I believe near one of the windows, so I can search for her a bit later.
Bird watching, yeah.
Well, I'm sure we will come back to this.
Yeah, we need cat cam next time.
Exactly. Chat already says you love cats, so you're passing. That's good.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Vessery also has a cat, right?
Yes,
Octavian also has a cat. What is this a
Yes.
requirement to work in your team to have a cat?
I'm not I don't have permission to speak about it.
Okay. All right.
All right. Yes. So I see already like a lot of questions here in chat, and we'll try to go through them one by one. Let's in the beginning focus a bit on ranked, and then we'll open up the questions, to more like general stuff. I know you have plenty of questions about, captain skills, ships that have been removed from the armory, and so on. But let's focus a bit on ranked first. I will actually select the ship in the background, and maybe Shonai, if you want to just give a little bit of an explanation of like why we changed ranked and like what our goal is with ranked, so that the players can have an understanding of why we actually did the change that we made in December.
Before you dig into that long answer, I would just, there are a couple of questions regarding Epic Store, which I would like to take an opportunity. Yes. Yeah, we will be coming to Epic Store in near future, very near future. We have a closed beta running right now. I think some of you are invited, some of the super testers, some of the PT regular players who are invited, and we are just going through the regular process of how to launch the game on a new store and just going through it. So yeah, we are coming there very soon. I hope that answers the question.
Hopefully it does.
So
And
yes,
then I
about
see,
the ranked.
yeah, I see a lot of questions. So first question I see from Celtic Boys, Shonai, when is tier 6 and tier 7 ranked? So a question about like what about different tiers in ranked? What can players expect?
So right now we have the first sprint of first regular season, the one which we intended to have in terms of length and duration, etc. Because the previous one was very short in comparison to this one, twice as short, and was a test one. And the current season is running on tiers from 8 to 10. This is something we see as a basic tiers for rankeds, but for sure you can expect that in future we will try rankeds in different formats and with different tiers. So maybe it would be something like 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, for example, or something like that. But right now there's not no plan set in stone regarding the next season, so we'll see how it goes.
Good.
Slightly lighter note, Kismet is asking me why don't I join the gang of beard people?
Oh man, if I could show pictures.
Well, I went above and beyond, and I joined a mustache club for 3 days.
Yes. Unfortunately, I didn't take any pictures. I really regret that. But I can tell you that was definitely epic.
Strict
Definitely.
NDA as well.
Yes. Yes. So let's talk a bit about ranked. So we changed the format that we had. Before we had basically just regular seasons, right, where you would be able to play from the bottom rank to the very top rank 1, and just rank out and get all of the rewards. Now we changed that format to a more continuous approach. Can you maybe explain a bit like why we're doing this?
Yeah, there are two major changes in it. First one is that the rankeds have built-in sprints which split up the season, so it becomes like a repetitive part which is available constantly for you until you rank out during the sprint. This is something which we were intended to make as one of the major parts. We wanted to make this gameplay, which is quite different from the one we have in random battles, available like most of the time during the year. Not like we have a month with rankeds, a month without. We had a pretty long break between test season and the current one, but in future we plan to have them to have ranked seasons available almost continuously without major breaks. The difference is the reason is the different gameplay. So you have lower teams, you have certain limits in terms of matchmaking, for example. Like there is a soft limit on number of battleships in rankeds in comparison to random battles, and also splitting the players by leagues. It's kind of hard to tell it right now because it's the first sprint of the season and all players are in the bronze, but after 2 or 3 or 4 sprints the distribution of players will be different, and majority of players will be in bronze and silver leagues, and only the top-notch players will get to the gold league in the third sprint after the second sprint. This will also have its own influence on the gameplay because you will play with players of similar skill. And the second part is yes, I believe that's and the second part is about rewarding. Previously, when you had rewards placed on exact ranks, on specific ranks, after you've got those rewards, you could no longer obtain them. And for example, it led to players move around, for example, rank 5, which was a breaking point for a lot of players, for example, for me. And you've reached the 5th rank, claimed the rewards, and then you started to play 6-5, 6-5 without and you couldn't. You need to spend a lot of games to progress to the, for example, rank 4 and to get rewards from rank 4. In the new system, you get rewards based on amount of wins you get. So you may stay at lower rank, but get the rewards from the league, except the reward for reaching the 1st rank and for qualification. This may be the 2 primary reasons why we had such a change made in 0, 9, 12. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I personally preferred it actually with the win setup, because you definitely get your steel and your rewards, you know, in smaller batches, but kind of like guaranteed. If you just play and get your wins. 3 wins gives you already your steel, then you get 6 wins, 9 wins, and so on. I think it's better than, having that frustration of getting close to that next rank and then you drop down completely and no rewards have been issued. So, at least for me personally, I like that.
I also can confirm that stuck at rank 4 or 5 was like, getting to rank 5 was like a big deal, and then you're stuck there and you start to feel like, oh, can I ever get to rank 2? And you start questioning your sanity after a point. And I have never ranked out, so that I can completely gone bonkers at rank 3 and 2, and you just have to stop playing after a point, despite you want that rank 1 and Jolly Rogers and all the steel and all the vanity that comes with it. So I really like the current format too, and the fact that it's all ongoing all the time, which is also nice. And it's not the final format as well. Like, we are still working on it, right? Like, we still plan to improve and make changes as the seasons go forward, right?
Yes, of course. Like everything in our game, the current state of rankeds is not final. They will change, of course. So there are a lot of things which may be improved. For example, one of the common things which we know about, and you've said about that in your feedback after the test season and during it. For example, the giving the star to the AFK players. This is something we think about how to deal with it. Yes. And how to improve the system in a way that won't award the star to AFK players. This is just an example of things which we are looking into. And this is not the only thing, and this includes the format, the interface, a lot of different stuff. And I believe some of them require much more time to develop, so there might be non-use for a while about the game mode, but that doesn't mean that work on them is stopped, and it will continue and go on, and sooner or later there will be improvements to the mode.
Awesome. Meanwhile, we can see Crysantos succeeding this time.
Well, so far it doesn't really look very promising. On the other flank, we get the cap advantage, which is
if
good.
you lose this one, that would be nice.
If we can get the line.
3v, like they have lost 3 and you have lost 1, and if you plan to lose this one.
No, it's just like this setup. See, now the D is gone. They have a double DD setup against the Georgia here, which is like the Georgia is not going to survive this. We have double DD setup here, and I hope the Fletcher is not going to be too greedy, and I think he's getting too greedy, and the line might actually spot him, and the secondaries, and yeah, he has to panic smoke now. This was just too greedy, and I hope he doesn't pay the blood price for it. And there we go. This is why, like, you just in general, that's my recommendation for ranked. Don't be too greedy. Try to
you mean just in ranked and not in live?
It's a piece of advice in general, I would say, but no, overall, like you like I can play with my concealment. I know that I can have 5.6. He will maybe spot me now, which would not be a problem, because I would only want him to panic and move forward, maybe into my torpedoes. But if you're so low on HP, like you getting destroyed is going to cost your team points, and that means it's going to be harder for the rest of us to win. And even as a DD with only like 500 HP, you will be able to do a lot if you just stay alive, spot for your team. Like, for example, you could have been spotting the line right now. and that would have helped us as a team quite a bit. And then we could have, for example, chosen our approach. I could have potentially smoked or used the islands to farm him down. So it's just like you have to play strategically, which can sometimes be really frustrating in a sense that it takes patience, right? It takes effort. You need to position well. And now I hope I'm not going to lose all of my HP. No, that's okay. Cool. And now it's basically my time to have some fun with him. And the Brindisi could actually just go next to him and, torp him. I played the Nostrashimi. The Nostrashimi has good guns, not too many of them. So it's not like the absolute DPM monster, but you can definitely have some
AP hurts as well.
AP hurts a lot, yes. And you want to hit the superstructures. And now I hope the Brindisi is going to use the torpedoes here. Because the Brindisi has torpedoes and he's not using it. Ah, that's so unfortunate. Buddy, come on, do it. You can do it. I believe. I believe in the power of your torpedoes.
You relied on your teammate.
He's reversing. He could just go for it.
Look at him.
I'm going to speed boost out of this. If the battleship is clever, he's going to try to get me.
Your torpedoes aren't even up yet. What is your Venezia doing anyway?
You mean the Brindisi? I don't know. He was just reversing, which was not a good choice. And now I'm in a tricky position because that line still has me spotted. I won't be able. He has like great HE. I'm definitely in secondary range, and he's going to try to get me. So for me, like now the point is like I can shoot for now. Kansas is going to be a bit problematic, but not right now.
Somebody's asking about the scenarios. We don't have any plans to bring any new scenarios right now. And those seasonal ones are seasonal in that way. The Dunkirk one is related to the Dunkirk date, so it doesn't make sense to bring it just like that anyway.
Okay, we launched torpedoes here. I want him basically to... He kind of has to push into me if he wants to, and I will be able to move out of his range, but he will have to push into me to be able to reset me. I launched my torpedoes on his bow. That Richelieu on max range is not going to be very
You're already supposed to play Missouri at some point.
Okay, we can do that. So we will have
one of those ships that
hit.
Chris doesn't have a great win rate in.
No, I don't know. Like I know this is like you're going to hate me for saying this, but my stats on that ship are far from great.
Far from Unicum, you mean?
I can't make it work. Even though like I love the Iowa and there's a nice little battleship-sized gap in here for the line. So
Perfect.
He's going to try. Like we were winning by points, but the Georgia now has to run, and the Richelieu really needs to push up. Like I can't deal with both of these. I would at least need him to spot the line. So I'll have to reset him, and just hope that the Richelieu will be able to help me a bit here.
Do you think you can win this one?
Tricky. Just because of the positioning of my team. So I'm going to shoot now. The Kansas is ready. The line should be ready. I got my.
What's
fire
wrong with
now.
the positioning itself? Like,
just too far away from the action. Like if you're in a battleship, it's okay to keep your distance. If you're, for example, on the HP pool of the line, it's okay. Like you want to be able to to apply pressure to the caps, be able to focus fire, and then you can do good team play. If you're just in the back, you basically rely on your teammates to be able to spot for you. And if I would be smoking up, he would not see any of this. So that's the problematic part. And I just basically try to decap him here, try not to lose too much HP. But if I would smoke up, he wouldn't be spotted. He's shooting now, so I'm trying to dodge this again. This is gonna hurt though because it's a line.
This is an interesting question which I don't understand. When can we unlock those tier 10 ship specific flags from Captain Log?
Because there are some flags that are currently in that logbook, but not available to players.
Okay. The question
We
is
have
when?
we have a couple of ideas in our minds on how to make those flags available to the public, but it's too early to share in details yet. But yes, there are definitely some plans on them to make those available to get.
Okay, good.
So what I'm trying to do now is basically like I'm trying to waste their time. They're chasing me. They kind of have to deal with me. Now they're not spotted, it's okay, but they're not contesting B. We're leading by like 150 points. If they wanted to, like win this, they would actually need to cap this, but both of these battleships are chasing me, which is something that I personally don't mind. He knows he's spotted, so he should be doing something about it. And he might be, I don't know.
Like,
actually
while they're
deselect.
chasing you, they don't contest caps, so that's just a win-win situation for you.
Exactly. Now
But he's a good battleship player, I have to say. Has he eaten any of your torps yet?
He ate.
He ate one by accident?
One.
Because he's changing. Oh, is he going to eat this one?
No. He might be watching because, like, otherwise he would have changed his course more. And now I need to disable my AA.
May I
was my
grab one
mistake.
question? The Ineos 1981 is asking, guys, I have an A channel now. If I want to create you, do I have to download another World of Warships game, or is it enough to have one downloaded game? That's totally enough to have one downloaded client, because we have a cross-realm client. You just need to create another account, and in Wargaming Gaming Center, you need to choose which one you use to log in. And that's it. So there is no need to download two separate clients, except if you would like to play on public test server, for example.
Now the Georgia got killed, and now I hope the Akizuki doesn't have time to actually contest the sea camp. But this is exactly now the point. Like I kind of I have to get away from it. The Kansas is a slow battleship. I don't have to. I could try, but like me, if I die here in my ship, the game is kind of lost for my team, because that Richelieu will not be able to compete with these ships, and they might just will trade points. It's not really going to be worth it. So I'm trying to just keep them at bay, trying to keep them away from the cap,
Well,
and then we're still like we're getting
points.
like 2 points extra, right? Instead of like they get 2, we get 4, so the difference is 2 points.
Wait,
And
do you know how
we-
healthy is your Richelieu? And where is
No,
Akizuki?
he's-
Because if Akizuki kills our Richelieu, then GG.
And now I'm running out of space, so the question is, where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? And this is another problematic part, so we'll actually have to probably fight him like this. He will then turn in, that's okay. Trying to juke him here, that's okay.
Oh. Oof.
That's okay. That's good for me, obviously. And now we'll just use AP and try to gun him down.
Oh, he had back guns in? No.
Oh, the torpedo's not going to hit him, I guess.
No,
Oh, no, we got him, and that's how we won. So that's what I mean. It's like I could have picked that fight, but if for me as a player, when I think about like what are the winning conditions for me to win this battle, if I pick the fight and I lose, my team, like that Richelieu, is not going to really be able to deal with either the DDs or 2 battleships. So it's on me.
Now
And then you
look
have to
at this.
decide
It's
how to
on
engage.
me to take my team home.
I didn't do a lot in the beginning. The Fletcher was actually doing more to the enemy DDs, but in that situation, I just assume my teammate might not make the right choice, so I kind of have to play it smart. So just don't throw it away, in my opinion. And that's just like one of the lessons I would share about ranked battles. Or I mean, you can always apply this to random battles, but play for the objectives. You saw the cap. We decapped. That's where we actually pick the fight to make sure that they're not getting the cap flipped. And then we try to waste their time. We saw that the line is chasing us. The Kansas was a bit too close. If 2 battleships, nuke you on like 10 kilometers, it's going to hurt a lot. And you might not actually get away with it.
Very well. Now you have to play with Missouri.
Yes. So we can talk a bit about like how this works in terms of like how to get rewards from ranked battles. As you can see, you have regular rewards as you get with playing random battles. It's not like clan battles where you get like 2,500 base XP for winning and 250 for losing, but it's actually based on your success. And if you're in the losing team, if you're the top XP ship, you will keep your star. We know this is a very heated discussions usually about this topic of if you're losing, you're the top XP ship, then you keep your star. At least from my perspective, I always see like a 50-50 breakdown in terms of how players see it. Because if you have a really good game, but your team decided to not do the best to also win that battle, you at least have that feeling of I didn't drop down and my base XP score kind of saved me. On the other hand, if you feel like somebody else didn't do as much, but his base XP score is high, it can be very frustrating. So it's always like the mixed bag in terms of that. But what do you think about this, Shonai, in terms of saving your star?
It's like the system was the saving star mechanism was introduced a long time ago during the other seasons. The ranks itself, if I remember correctly, started without save the star system, and
Yes.
we've added it, so it somewhat helps you to progress in rankeds. But of course, we think about the system in a perspective of what players expect from it and how it influences the overall progress. So, for example, we acknowledge that saying the star sometimes may lead to frustration, but in our opinion, if we remove it, then it will lead to a bigger problem. So there might be cases when, for example, saving the star won't work as perfect as, for example, in lower leagues. So, for example, imagine the higher leagues. Maybe the save a star system there is not that needed, because the gaps between XP gains will be less of an issue. But that's, I think, to consider and to be weighted against each other. The arguments have to be weighted against each other. So we think that right now the system works to its best, in our opinion.
I mean, from my side, I've played ranked from the beginning, basically from the first season, and when there was no saved ranked, it wasn't like the gameplay was significantly better, or now it's significantly worse. It's just a bit different, and at least for me, it was nice to be able to save that star and not have to, go back and go back and go back. But that's also one thing I like about the new system, because since you have now the different leagues, it takes you less stars to get to the next point, basically, how you can progress. So right now, we're in Sprint 1. Everybody currently in Sprint 1 is in Bronze League, right? Because, let me show you this, also in-game. So we're all in Bronze League because everybody's starting from the same place. And then you have to go through these different stars, which you get by winning. And then, at the end, as soon as you reached rank 1, which also gives you a nice reward, by the way, with the new Bronze League containers that we introduced, you also get doubloons and steel as one of the rewards you can get, and then you enter the qualification stage. And in the qualification stage, you fight with the conditions of the next league, which would be the Silver League. And if you manage to get those wins, you're basically set for the Silver League. You see here the qualification, you need 5 stars, so 5 wins, and then you will progress further, and you will be playing against players who made it that far. And the same thing then is true for Gold League. You will have to make it here through a qualification where you need 8 stars, and then you will be able to play in the Gold League, and you won't be relegated down. In terms of the rewards, you can see this here. It's win-based. So, for example, for me, I managed to get 12 wins already. So for 3 wins, you get 200 steel. For another 3 wins, another 200, and so on. And then you start also getting the specific camouflages for the specific league. So, for example, in Bronze League, you would get bronze camouflages. I now got 200 doubloons and 5 bronze additional camouflages. And the only additional thing I could get at this point would be going into to rank 1 and get my steel for this, and then go through the qualification, where I would get the Type 3 rank camouflages if I manage to qualify. And then you basically...
Are you going to qualify on the stream today?
I don't think I will be able to qualify because I need 5 wins, so I could... potentially, depending on how long this stream takes, I could actually get into, with the 100% win rate, I could maybe make it.
I was about to say, how about you play a bit more?
We just wanted to explain how it works. If you have no idea, how this whole ranked system works, it's nice to understand that you get your stars, you basically get to rank 1, then you qualify, and then you get to move into the next league, which will then only be available, at least right now, after the sprint ended. So it's kind of like the amount of battles you can play is limited based on the league you're in and whether you manage to rank out or not. So that's at least the current concept.
So let's see if you manage to rank out today.
We can see. You can also tell me which ships you would like to see me play.
There was otherwise, I'm from Missouri, because pretty sure that's not gonna help your cause.
I can play my Missouri.
Do you have a golden camo from the previous season?
Yes, I do.
You know what to do with your Missouri?
Okay, you want
Don't
me to go
give
for
wrong
full
ideas. What
setup?
is this? Come on.
I do have the Missouri, and this is actually my money making setup with the Gamescom camouflage, the old one, which is a very nice one. But let me pick. So the gold camouflage, actually, just to show you. So this is the bronze camouflage you can apply. It is quite beautiful.
But gold is better.
These are the rewards, like 100% XP bonus plus 200% free XP bonus. For silver, you get higher rewards, and the silver is close to the steel one. So if you want to get the cheap steel camouflage, silver is the way to go. Like
Wait,
the
isn't it
poor
other
the
way
poor
around?
man's the poor man's steel. That's
In my-
the way I would
that's
call
my
it.
personal favorite out of these three.
Yes,
Not
and
judging
then
by the
if you-
stats, by the look.
And then we just go full gold. That's okay. That's okay. I do have my signal flag set up. Can we maximize the credit income? No, I think I have everything for credits here. Good. Doesn't hurt to get some additional XP. And then I'm using my Halsey commander. Obviously, for ranked, if you want my opinion, go for all the signal flags. Go for all of the benefits you can get from commanders. You will need it to win that battle. And yeah, so actually, I'll just jump into battle, and then we'll see how we are going to
Is
play
your
this.
commander spect?
Yes.
It is spec'd. I don't know
Yes.
what it's spec'd for right now. I think actually probably good to check, right? I don't think because I'm not sure whether I tried actually my Deadeye setup. Yes, I have a Deadeye setup for the Montana. So we are going to usually I would redistribute this. The problem is I'm out of the balloons because Lepanto is waiting for me in hopefully one of the next random
You can
bundles.
use your Elite Commander XP.
I can use my Elite Commander XP. That's true. Let's do this. Let's quickly
You just want to
redistribute.
keep this skill setup, yes?
It's okay. No, actually, for ranked, I wouldn't go for Deadeye because, as I said before, Deadeye is a good skill. If you have a battleship that is, played more, let's say, mid to long range, it's nice because you get it from the beginning going. But I feel like it locks you into too much of like a specific situation, and especially in ranked, you need to reposition. On the Missouri, you have radar. Deadeye plus radar is kind of contradictory. If you want to at least make the best use of the ship, in my opinion. So for me, for example,
I can't believe you have no W's too.
because
Such a
Crysantos
horrible-
wanted Lepanto, and Lepanto RNG said bundle 45, not Lepanto yet. So that's why. So let
So
me go here.
while we are on this page, let's address the thing which was raised in chat I don't know, a couple of dozen times already, the Deadeye and the overall the commander skills rework situation. Let's start with Deadeye. Yes, we do acknowledge there is an issue with this skill. Yes. We don't like the whole situation with it. The skill is too powerful, and it may have some influence on meta and the choices the players make. However, regrettably, we don't have any details yet as for the whole what we are planning to do with with other skills, with Deadeye. It requires some analysis. We got the data from the 0.10.0. We are getting more data now. We need to have a proper analysis of it, how different skills influence each other, how the overall what are the choices, what are the battle ranges, etc., etc. What are a lot of different things happening. So that requires some time. After that, we have to consider what exact changes we need to do to the Deadeye and maybe some other skills. But that requires time. This is the only thing we need now. Some time.
I believe, Shonai, you have said a lot already.
You mean what?
Go on.
And once we will have a solution in our minds, we will share it with you. We will tell you what are we planning to do and what are the results of the rework, how we see it. But the two most important things for you, our opinion, is that first, overall, rework didn't break the game. It's there is and the second thing, yes, there is an issue with Deadeye. These are maybe the two most important things that you wanted to hear from us. I understand that you might disagree with the game is not broken part, but if you look at other things besides Deadeye, overall things are not broken. And yes, we will address the Deadeye situation. So I just hope that it answers the main thing which was on your minds.
Thank you. A lot of people were asking questions regarding this Deadeye, so good to know and good to hear and good to just say it out aloud, what you said, that we are aware of it. and we are doing something about it. When you have to bear with us and stay with us and give us some time for that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So where are you going, Mr.?
So for me, I'm going to push up here into the Seeker because I just spawned next to it, and I don't really believe in repositioning here because I can't really help here too much, and we will probably need the radar against the Kitakaze anyway.
I can also tell you that by your own experience, that this is your favorite map or not.
Yeah, that would be my feedback for Shonai, that I'm not a big fan of this map in particular.
But
for
why
ranked.
not?
I just think that overall...
He doesn't like this map.
No, I just like, because I dislike that A is such a dead zone. It's like you go in here and it's like the Thunderdome, and you need to spend a lot of time to actually get around to the other side, and if you go from in this side, it just locks you into this area and you won't be able to contribute on the other side. So I
Go down the
personally
middle.
Go down the middle.
go down the middle, exactly.
Nobody expects that.
That's where I usually, catch the enemy.
I see.
I recently had a Paolo Emilio trying to go in there, but my Neustrashimi Torps got him. So that's why I'm not a big fan of this setup, because you cannot really help each other as a team. This is like such a huge mountain range, and you have to be in very specific positions to be able to do something here and to cross. That I'm not the biggest fan of it. That's just my personal opinion about this map. Lordofdroid knows, because when I complain about this specific map, he's usually next to me.
He sits next to me and I hear all the complaints.
All the complaints, yes.
Almost all of them.
But chat knows me very well. There's a question about secondary brawling.
Yes.
So do you have anything we can maybe share about secondaries and the state of secondaries at the moment with the commander skill rework?
Not at the moment. It will be part of a bigger report, which we will have addressing the rework as a whole.
Okay.
But somebody was boasting, even players were sending me photos of how good the secondary build was. Somebody did 90k damage in a
With secondaries.
With secondaries.
Like-
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Uh,
I guess the guy just stood there and probably just let the secondaries do some damage every now and then. I don't know. It was
Gotta
a
be
bit crazy. Crazy.
I might actually trigger my first radar, because it feels like that Kitakaze is close, too close for my
I don't know.
my taste. There we go. That's what I meant. And he probably torped in between here.
Are you gonna beach? Tactical beaching now?
No. Reversing should do the job.
Come on.
Let's see whether we can get a good hit in. Not with that dispersion. Nope.
Dispersion says absolutely not.
No, but the good thing is that he wanted to position up here. He can farm quite a bit.
If
on
only
this
he
side.
would have Deadeye.
That eye on that range would have been amazing. No, but you can see like the position I'm in, which would completely neuter the skill that I would use here with that eye. So I would actually go for something else. And you can see the enemy Missouri is doing the same. If you want to use our radar, we need to be in this position. Otherwise, a different battleship would have been a better pick.
But that's the other thing. Like a lot of players don't realize that. Oh, I have Deadeye on, but it's a lot of time. It's just not
nice
active.
torpedoes here. That's
Just
going to
because,
push the Missouri back.
You just don't realize.
Oh, come
It's
on!
not
Can we get
active
him?
So long. Oh, did you steal?
There is no such thing as kill stealing.
Uh-huh.
I took care of that. Just imagine the Pommern would have not been able to shoot him anymore. He would have
Look at
survived
the
in here.
justification. He
got
was
get
burning
a
down.
heal on.
He was burning down.
Chat, I'm right. Lordofdroid is enjoying this way too much. But no. I truly believe there is no such thing as a kill stealing, because we are removing DPM from the map. And that's the important part. I don't think I will be able to
I think there were two
get a
more
sneaky
ships
shot.
there ready to remove the DPM from the battle. And here we are, like 15 kilometers.
Yes,
Sure.
no, it's like that rear turret could not be used right now without me showing way too much broadside. So I used it for that one, and that's just good application of my third turret. No.
There's a very interesting suggestion going around here. Can we give the gold and bronze camos for doubloons or steel or coal, please? It takes away the exclusivity of the playing ranked if we do that. It's kind of unfair. But Shonai, what do you think?
Like, these camos are intended as a prize to those who obtain them, like a token of deserve it, like they
Yes.
are
It's
deserved
a
in
show
some
off.
way.
It's a show
So
off.
right now there are no such plans, and also like making the same camo as permanent camo will require quite a lot of it will take
Efforts.
some yeah.
We have a question. Are we adding new ships to Research Bureau anytime soon? Well, soon or not, but we will definitely keep on adding
Yes.
ships to Research Bureau.
Yeah.
We want some interesting ships to be there for sure.
Like the last one, the Paulo Emilio is just was one of my favorite ships during testing.
YOLO Emilio, not Paolo.
Yeah.
I think we should
Yeah,
name
sorry.
that thing.
We should rename it in your opinion.
Yes.
Like it was like one of the most unusual ships I've ever played for a long time, and it was pretty fun and interesting. But the thing is that sometimes, like the case with Paulo Emilio showed it during the testing, not every ship is for everyone, and YOLO Emilio just shows it. Not everyone likes those rush and risky maneuvers which you have to take in this ship, and that's perfectly fine, because like there are ships which are liked by some people, there are ships which are more popular, but there is like you can create something that will be loved by everyone, and vice versa.
Yes.
It's not true. You can create a Hindenburg.
Of course.
Everybody loves the Hindenburg. But now, unfortunately, we're losing the Yugumo because the Missouri, while he sacrificed himself, used his radar, and that screwed our Yugumo over. But I hope we will be able to make good use of that sacrifice. And oh, hello. So
Make use of sacrifice. What are you saying? Religion.
No, I mean, did we go here and we just turned it into a win for him because he tried to do the right thing. That's good.
Finally, you got some damage numbers up. You were paltry 20k before that couple of citadels.
Yes. And now we're going to
Oh,
get
look at
farmed
that.
here, which is okay for now.
Nobody misses the chance to hit the CV. Nobody's like, CV spotted. Screw everybody else in 10 kilometers range. I'm just gonna go for the CV.
If I can't apply my damage well here, I'll go for the one where I can apply most of my damage. I hope the Alabama is going to get torped here by either the Hipper or
Nope.
the Eagle.
No, not gonna happen.
Because I'll need my radar against the DD. So these torpedoes should knock him out. And with the Pommen
There's a
taking care of
question.
the other flank, no. Was that a complete miss on the torps?
Total
Yeah,
miss, like absolute.
it's so easy sometimes to completely whiff
And he
torpedoes. on
died
close
as
range.
well. And,
Okay.
and left you in a very precarious position. If he shoots at you right
My-
now. It's
Well, the
gonna
guns.
hurt.
That's why I'm looking at the guns. The guns are on the wrong side, so that's okay.
How about torpedoes?
From the Alabama. Or...
No. No,
Let me
from
grab
the other side. Keep
a
that
couple of
Yeah,
questions
that's why
from
I'm
the-
slowing down right now.
Because he stopped shooting for a bit.
So, CRIG74 asks, are you able to say anything about Mysore or Vampire 2? So, if I remember correctly, Mysore was sold in premium shop, and I don't remember if it is available right now, but maybe it is. And regarding Vampire 2, it's the ship which is in test, so right now there are no news about her, how she will be available or when, but yes, she is in test, so you can meet her on the main server in hands of members of the test process.
Okay, so let's
Lot of
hope the
questions
CD
like,
is
are we
not
gonna
being
add
too much.
new coal ships? Yes, of course we're gonna keep adding new ships to all kind of currencies.
Yeah, but today we cannot announce yet what is the next ship.
Today we cannot.
No.
I mean, unless Shonai.
No,
Oh, what a
we can't.
beautiful
We're not
dance
gonna
with
put
torch.
anybody in trouble today.
yes. Like, Vesser is on a vacation for 2 days, starting tomorrow, so
And you don't want him to
him
come back from his vacation.
Yes,
for this, yes?
on Tuesday with like the face, what?
I think
just
chat would be
announced.
fine with that though, right, chat?
With me getting fired?
No. With him not knowing about this. Okay, this will be our secret. Like
Don't tell him.
Exactly, we won't tell anybody.
Another question is from Vekas303. If you change the die from 10% to 5%, for example, will you consider it a mini nerf or a big nerf, and will that mean we'll get one free retraining? So let's keep it this way. we don't have the exact idea what we will do with that eye. There are different options which we consider, and we need to get a bit more data, a bit more analysis on what will be the solution for it. And depending on what we will do, if it's a big change, yes, we will do the global free reset. But what if it will be a big change? That's the one thing we need to see in the future.
There's a question
I
regarding
don't know how I missed
we-
that CV. I don't know how I missed that CV.
What happened?
Sorry. Chat will know what I mean. Oh god. So yeah, that's the Missouri played in a bit more like a brawly fashion, and that's what I like to do with it. We won, so yay me for win rate today. We get some nice credits out of it. Obviously, I have a very high income setup here with losing all of the signal flags, but overall, like that Kitakaze did a good job. But overall, he couldn't really influence the outcome of the battle here because the rest of the team was too much in one spot and the cruisers weren't able to flip that. And that Pommern did a really good job here. I'll give him a +1 for being there in the Gumu try to help us against the Kitakaze.
The question is the bathtub mode coming for April Fool? I don't think so. I hate to say this.
Yeah, regrettably, I really doubt about it.
I loved that mode. I really did.
Yeah, and the thing is that because it's not a matter of just pushing like 2 buttons and adding it to the game, just drag and drop. But because the game is so old.
Come on, Control C,
Control C, Control V. Yeah, no, unfortunately, it really by now because the game has evolved so much that it would take a huge amount of work to actually get it back into the game. And
the code base that it was based on, it's really old, and it basically means we have to build it all over again, more or less. So. It's going to be tough. And that means a no.
Exactly. And we also have a bonus code for you for today. If you want to get your mission for the Italian tokens, you can either use the Twitch drops or the bonus code that I just linked here. So feel free to just,
What does it mean anyway?
I don't know. Conway collected them, and I didn't check
no.
why he
We
went for
should
this one.
Check everything that Conway adds are there.
Yes, that's true. We should always double check what
Maybe
Conway adds.
if there's somebody Italian there can translate for. Can you press it again?
Sure. Just give you 1 second. Let me just quickly double check.
Show the stream the code.
Yeah. I just need to push one button. There you go. Here you have the code again, and it's Batra Komimachia. And
Komimachi.
I'm sure I'm completely
What does it mean, Jack?
butchering here the Italian language again. But this is the bonus code. What does it give you? It's very straightforward. It gives you a mission. The mission has 5 steps. All of them are base XP scores. It gets harder with each of the steps. And if you manage to do all of the missions, in total you can earn 1 million credits exactly. Plus, I think for this one it's 200 Italian tokens. And next week we'll have a new one for you.
Can somebody tell me what does it mean? Batro Komimachia.
I'm sure that Conway put a lot of effort into this one.
I'm looking at the chat and.
Is this for all servers? This is for the EU, NA, and SEA server.
Yeah.
If you're on the Russian server, you can actually also just use the Twitch drops because they're working on all servers.
So there's one question which I would like to answer because I've seen it multiple times from the same person. So Rave Generation asks, can you add other way of getting ranked tokens for perma-camos for people that can play 14 days in a row, please? Right now we see ranked tokens and the camouflages they give you, like one of the top-notch rewards you can get in the game, to get paired with steel ships, steel camo, and clan tokens. Clan token camos. So right now we don't have other plans for other ways of distribution for these tokens, neither clan nor ranked.
Okay, I'll just start a game in the background while you can just keep answering questions. I'm going to use my Friesland now. I'm usually not the biggest fan of jumping through ships. Lordofdroid and me have very different approaches to like what ships to use. Like I'm the kind of guy who's just like, this is the season of like the Neustrashimi, and I will use the Neustrashimi for most of the season. But Lordofdroid, you have a completely different approach to what you pick, right?
I try to to try out all possible ships, and then I start to like a few ships, and then maybe by the end of the season I realize, oh, maybe this is the ship I should have played from the very beginning, and then there is a lot of regret.
So here we actually have the answer to our question. So Batra Komimachia is apparently is an epic comic retelling of the Iliad by Homer, which means literally the battle of frogs and mice. Thank you very much.
Very interesting choice by our very engaging community lead. Yeah. Okay.
I have to say, Shonai, thank you very much for pushing that button that I get this map a second time.
By the way, Shonai, somebody saying, is Crysantos pronouncing Neostrashimi properly, or how would you pronounce it?
You did quite a good work there, Lordofdroid. It's pronounced Neostrashimi.
Neostrashimi, yeah?
You have to...
Yeah, like...
Neostrashimi.
Not like Italian.
Neostrashimi.
Yeah,
like I'm sorry.
That was quite close, yes.
Yeah? Neostrashimi, okay, I'll just...
Yes, with the hand gesture.
Like, look, I love hand gestures. That's why I love Italian names. Francesco. He's like, yeah. You can talk with your hands. It's great. Love it. Love Italian names. Sorry, Italians, for like usually also not doing the best job. Oh, I should have disabled my AA, but maybe we can at least make him pay for this attack because the Friesland kills a lot of planes. Goodbye.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's eight planes. Well, if you take a CV, this is a tier 8, tier 9 setup, and if you want to strike a Friesland, you will have to pay the blood price.
There is a question, a repeated question, like what are we replacing Georgia, Thunder, Alaska with?
With new ships?
I can tell you, with more ships.
Unfortunately, we can't tell you today, but hopefully one of the next streams. I hope we're going to have a dev blog maybe about this.
I believe this will be the news for one of the streams, yes.
Yes, we plan to definitely replace them, but we're just gonna tease you a bit.
And also it won't probably happen just like 3 ships at the same time. It will be gradually, like the
Yes. It won't be like we remove 3 ships and we're gonna add 3 in one go. No, one by one.
There's a question here about, is there any free stuff coming? So, I mean, we have a lot of free stuff in the game. I mean, right now you can get, for example, up to the tier 7 early access just by playing the game for Italian battleships. You also have the daily shipments you can just claim in the armory. We have a lot of activities going on, like, for example, with, the bonus codes here. We can get free credits by playing just the game, and getting some good scores. And, oh, there's the Chungmu. Sorry.
So this is why you came to the middle. Yes, look at the smile on the face.
Yeah.
Like, somebody walked right into that.
Yeah, because I could see that, there's not much contesting going on here. The Chungmu was up here, over here. Oh, that's
so why are you not chasing it?
I'm not, because I don't want to chase it into a Georgia with secondaries.
Not Georgia.
But I want to, like, the Fletcher would be my target. I want to go into A and make that PD cry. Look, our CV bombed that hill. I don't know what the hill did to him, but it's now flattened.
It was the enlightened drop.
Yes. No. Enlightened drop was something else. That would be dropping before going up and then dropping again because you could abuse the invul area. Okay, Chungmu is going over there.
The both destroyers to me are positioned very questionably. Both of you are in the same
I don't know
sector.
why he's following me. He should be he should be up there. And because that's why I left in this area. But let's have some fun here with the planes, round number 2.
Seems like you will meet the CV very soon. The planes are coming from that direction. Yes, Shonai, you have a question to answer.
Yes, this is a direct question to, I believe, to me. Old School Frankie asks, are you happy with the result of the commander rework? As I've said earlier, there are, like, as usually with a lot of things, they can't go, very rarely things go completely fine, and so that they don't require future work on them. Like, game development is an iterative process, so just to say, there are some issues in Commander Skills rework, which we will work on, and the most obvious one is Deadeye. On the other hand, overall, the game didn't, the game didn't crash. Like the game is still playable, the ships still fulfill their roles. Yes, there's an issue which influences maybe a bit more stuff than it should. So, for example, it all goes like a chain. But overall, the game works, and the situation is not as apocalyptic as it could seem. So, this was a big thing to do. So the happy might be not the most suitable word, but overall, I just expect that if I say something like overall we are fine, it will and then will be clipped and distributed like we are refusing to acknowledge our mistakes.
No, that's in general. I think it's safe to say
Yes.
that like overall the commander
Overall,
skill rework
yes.
achieved the goals that we had, right? It gives more flexibility, more variety in skills. It also gives us, for example, in the future, the opportunity to add more class-specific skills, which is simply something that we didn't have in the past. But on the other hand, not everything is 100% balanced right now, and this is the task that we have for the next weeks and months to make sure that this will be the case and that all of you can enjoy the game with the new system.
I already know what you're playing next, by the way. Based on the chat demand, you have to play a cruiser.
I have to play cruiser? Absolutely happy to. Okay, I'll have to help the book here. I know that. Oh, wait.
Like
here.
the
No, I
topic
didn't pay
about.
attention. This was my mistake.
Sorry.
Oh,
The
wow,
topic
that
about
hurt.
whoa.
Yeah, that
The
was-
topic about variety and the choice of skills, etc. This is something we would like to address sometime in future in our development blog post when we will talk about the changes which we want to see for commander skills. We will also, I believe, talk about what effect it has, something like a report to you, so that you will see what our stance on that and how we see it. So, but again, that will require some time.
So have you finally met your...
My friend, Lord Beamish. Lord Beamish has been spending a lot of planes on my health, and I will return the favor with my guns now. But I need to be careful with the Ibuki here, because the Ibuki can do naughty things to me. So I just want to, there's no reason for me to, oh god, the Shokaku. I got AA defense expert.
Oh.
No, our DD went in there and he didn't.
Wow.
Oh, come on. I don't understand.
You
why he
must
did
kill this...
No. Like like if I could have the choice, I would much rather be on the other side and influence the battle over there. But I need to work my way through this, and the Ibuki is far away, so we can actually do this. Okay. So,
what is your
dear
Ibuki doing, by the
Shukaku,
way?
I'm sending you my love letter.
What is your Ibuki doing right now?
My Ibuki took care of the Fletcher, and now he's coming back.
I
He
think
was
like
actually
he's just vacationing on an island.
no. He was here. You can see it down here. He was actually taking care of. He torped the enemy.
Yes,
Fletcher.
I saw that. Which is very strange thing to do, but okay. He torped from 3 kilometers.
Okay, so we'll have to change our angle here slightly. Can we get a fire? Please?
No.
Hey, Ibuki's coming in as well.
Do you have one more question to answer?
If you have one for me.
So chat, just tank at World of Warships. Oh, that was a full flag. Ah, there we go.
Love in rank 300 bit. Okay. A lot of this is captain skills related questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope that for captain skills we will have like more detailed information. This was it. Okay, you should be able
And
to
you
apply
got
too
it.
much damage. There we go. Okay.
But will you win though?
It's really tricky. Like at this point, I
But
need
that's
to-
the same answer you give every time. It's always tricky for you, is it?
Yes, because it's ranked, and look, it's very close. Oh, the Georgia's coming in. I mean, I will now try to do my very best here against the Ibuki, trying to be a bit.
Mr. Conway is talking to me about some lift off. I wonder what is he talking about.
Mr. Conway, yes. We know what.
I
he's
think he
doing.
came to chat just to tell me this. Like we have a lift off.
Okay, so can the Ibuki help me here enough to get rid
So,
of the?
King TS01 asks, There are plenty of PvP match selection based on gameplay. You use ship selection as a starting point. Is there plans in the future to alter this method to make team selection more balanced? I believe, if I understood correctly your question, and sorry if I didn't, because in that case just rephrase it, so I'll read it later. You're talking about something like skill-based matchmaking or something like that. The situation is, for random battles, no, we won't get to something like skill-based matchmaking, because this staple of random battles, they don't look at what player you are. The entire thing of matchmaking is based on which ships are there in the queue. However, the closest example of what we have to skill-based matchmaking is ranked battles and clan battles and clan brawls. These are more or less, the ranked battles are based on your progress, so you will get matched with the players from the same league, and for example, if you manage to get to the gold league in sprint 3, you will be there with only those who did the same thing. Clan brawls and especially clan battles, they are based on the team rating, and you are matched with the teams of similar rating. This is something which is similar to skill-based. I guess that's something that I may answer to your question.
Yeah, unfortunately, the battle doesn't really look very promising at this point, because they will have 2 caps versus 1 cap. Me fighting a Georgia without a heal, without anybody to spot for me to, for example, use my smoke, is making this very tricky.
Let's see.
Yeah, this is why, like, I didn't.
Somebody's complaining about secondaries. Look at the secondaries go. You are scared of the secondaries there.
I definitely do not want to get close to the
So
secondaries.
please have a look. Secondaries are not dead. Look at that. Look at the shower.
Well, we're both showering each other in like nice little small HE shells. But yeah, overall, like, I didn't understand why Aryugumo was just following us, because he could have torped these battleships over there quite easily. Now we're trying to shoot this for the enemy. Come on, buddy. You want to take another fire? Come on.
No AP still.
On this, I actually, with
Or is
so
it
much
too much
superstructure, I'm happy to go for HE here and
Okay,
try to set the fires.
Did he just repair?
Oh, yeah, he repaired. So he's also trying to speed boost out of this. Give me the fire, give me the fire, give me the fire, give me the fire. I need the fire here. I need the fire. Come on.
Oh, he's still.
Chat, I need
Repair
you to
part
believe.
is still
Thank
on,
you.
bro.
Oh, but not enough. We tried. I think we might keep our score. Yes. So this is exactly like, now I'm happy. I think we did the right thing here. We got a cap. We got actually 2 caps. We had to fend off the CV. The CV was mostly focusing on me, which is fine. Like, I'm happy for, like, if an enemy CV wants to focus me completely in a Friesland, I'll take the planes. But unfortunately, I don't understand what Yugumo did there, which is a bit unfortunate, because I think we could have actually won this if the Yugumo would have spotted the other flank. Good game here in the Izumo. I'll definitely give you a +1. And the Ibuki.
He shot down 24 planes. And Izumo doing that. Can you imagine?
Well, I guess our Lexington was focusing him very much, and he still managed to get this. So good job.
Izumo strong. Izumo is the
By now, I
biggest
think
strength of Izumo is that people underestimate it, and then it comes and slaps you hard, and you realize, oh no, Izumo is strong.
yes, it's I had the same feeling in other ships. It happens sometimes. People underestimate your ship, and that's what you're looking for as a good player, or as any player. How many hot sauces does Mr. Conway keep in the office fridge? Right now, I think actually none. I think that's basically good for people like me who would cry.
What did he ask? Hot sauce?
Mm-hmm.
Is that some keyword? Or like a...
Hot sauce for Conway, definitely a keyword. But by the way, there's a question here from
out of nowhere. Like,
people know Conway very well, and I hope that Conway will also tell the story about the clownfish
no.
next time on the English stream, not just on the German stream. So there was a question here from Potnike to Shonai, and he says, will heavy cruisers get fire prevention back? Stalingrad, for example.
Again, all the changes to the skills system will be discussed later, and we will announce information. Me personally, I kind of doubt about that, because in my overall, we mentioned that distinguishing big cruisers and other types of cruisers was one of the parts of the which we kept in mind during the rework, and that no fire prevention skill for cruisers was known as a situation, and it doesn't look like a big issue that they lack it. However, if it will be deemed necessary, yes, there might be changes in that direction. But again, let's talk about it a bit later, then when there will be a big post and announcement, and maybe we will come here again to the stream to talk about that.
Cool. We'll wait for that. You don't want to play Riga?
I was tempted to play just so you guys can see this. Well, I'm tempted to play the Seattle. I can play the Riga.
No, play Seattle. It's okay.
The Seattle for me has like a really good mix of tools. I haven't played the Seattle in ages, so I hope it won't be too bad. But overall, if you consider what is important for winning a battle, is usually cap control and map control, and having a ship that has all of these tools. So we have the radar, we have the heal, plus we have the hydro. That gives us the option to I will actually switch this around. Plus we have defensive A, so we have all of the tools that to influence certain aspects of the game, and we definitely want to be able to help with the enemy DDs, but we also want to be able to, for example, deal damage to battleships if they're pushing us. So we're going to live a bit on the edge here. I actually go for main battery firing range upgrade here, because I want to have the flexibility that I can also sit behind an island and make the enemy pay a bit for advancing, if that actually is the case.
And what skills do you have chosen for
what skills do I have? So this is actually an IFAG build for my Seattle. I think it's one of the ships where it actually it can give you a little bit of a nice boost. Otherwise, if you would drop it, actually you will drop down to I think 30 millimeters, and here we get 37 millimeters.
I have expert loader on mine. I don't know,
Expert
I can't live without that skill anymore, because it's just like I find myself switching between the shells so often based on the targets that I sometimes really appreciate the expert loader, because sometimes you have like let's say few seconds of opportunity to shoot that AP and get some citadels.
Yeah, I think with like such a high rate of fire ship, I'd rather just get the HE out and then switch to AP, because it's such a small window that you're talking about, and it's very, very situational. And I rather have
But for a
different setup.
It's
It's one point to have or not to have, right?
I disagree.
That's what I personally always. That's why I was actually happy to see like a commander skill rework. And if you would have asked me, I would have added a shit ton more of skills, just because I like the variety. In World of Warships, you have a very limited amount of options to customize your ship, also in terms of like how it's played. And commander skills is one of them. And I love to think about my setup like a lot and figure out like what do I want to go for and what do I want to strengthen about the ship, or is there any weakness I want to kind of address. And that's what I'm doing. And now somebody needs to go here to B. Question is, should it be me? Because I'm much better here for the C area. So let me ask who's going B. Overall, my recommendation to anybody playing ranked battles is to communicate, to have an understanding of who's doing what and what you're trying to achieve. Karamba needs, for example, probably my help in the cap. The Neptune looks like He's okay. This is classic. I'll just no. I will go first. But overall, you need to communicate. Somebody needs to take B. We're stuck.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are we doing? We had a problem of him trying to cross me, and I didn't know whether he wants to go first.
The battleship always has right of way.
Look, this is how you make DDs in our game. It's like two cruisers snuggling.
Soon they will say this is how we make submarines in the game.
Yeah. So unfortunately now we have to. This is something I would love to get fixed by the way in the game, that you can get stuck on the ship.
What's even happening?
He's stuck on my ship.
Or are you going forward? I don't know.
No. He's stuck on my ship. He's stuck on my on the structure of my ship. So we have to kind of like push each other away because that bow part got locked in onto my superstructure. Or that area of the model. Yeah, this is communication. This would have been a great way to communicate. And now we have a bit of a problem. I will still try to help the Cossack here. I just need to reposition myself. And I hope the Neptune is... I'm not sure. We lost a bit of time. But it looks like the Cossack is actually able to cap. So we'll come back to this. He's going Cossack.
Shouldn't you be helping your DD? Shouldn't you be helping your DD with the radar?
Yes, but right now, so the thing is, I don't really see the enemy DD contesting C. So my guess would be the enemy DD is now on its way to A to cap. They might have had a similar discussion or misunderstanding, and nobody going to A, and the DD just decided, it's a Xiang Yang. He might be going wide because he has deep water torpedoes, or he might be going for A. At this point, I'm pretty sure he's going for A. So we will try to catch him here. The Cossack did its job. It went in here. This is not a good move, by the way, by the rune, going in YOLO into this area. The Cossack did its job. That's why he's disengaging. It's a really good choice. We got the cap. There's no reason to stay in that cap because this can be very, very tricky to hold. And we'll now try to get the second cap and get the points ticking for us. We already got an advantage here. Roughly 30 points, or it's going to be more like 40 points until they cap, and then we will have at least that advantage. And then we'll see whether the enemy DD is going to engage us or not. As you can see, we have a 9-kilometer radar, 9.6 kilometers of detectability. If we're spotted, we need to cover only a very small amount of distance before we can radar the enemy. And at this point, I hope this Yang Yang wants to go and torp the Jean Bart, because for him, this looks like this is a lonely battleship. I should be able to do something here. We can see that over here we have the smoke plus SAP coming, so we know the Brindisi is also over here. So we have kind of like the information that we need, right? The DD is here, we have E-gear plus Brindisi, no battleships. The battleships are going to be shooting us from over here. So we roughly know what to angle against. I'm going to now launch Hydro.
Shonai, did you see the suggestions from King TS01?
Yeah, I've seen that one regarding the more upgrades types. If I remember correctly, we had some changes to the upgrades in a year or so. In the beginning of 2020, we had changes to upgrades, and we've added some new ones. So the best thing will be to let things settle down for a while. And now we have a commander skills rework, which also influences the choices and the builds and variety. And so introducing even more, it will be harder to distinguish the effect.
Submarines will also add kind of new let's say skills, or not skills, but consumables, like the mines and things.
Yeah,
right?
The new combinations of ships, branches, features, and consumables. Like the diverse gameplay is one of the most important things for us, and letting people get the grasp of something unusual or unique is a very interesting thing, and this is what we strive for.
And I think one of the examples of that will be the Tier 10 Austin that is still under testing. It has the main reload booster with an SAP. Now that's interesting.
Yes. Or the already mentioned today YOLO Emilio.
Yes. That
this time you pronounced it correctly. Very good.
I've needed some more articulation to that.
Okay, so we're not going to really engage here with like two cruisers because they're going to out-BPM me. I'm just going to reposition myself and try to help here. Unfortunately, we lost that rune. As I said, like pushing in here, especially alone, is not a good choice. I don't know why the enemy DD is not really trying to contest. He might be trying to go through here.
Maybe he's AFK.
Maybe that's the case.
You can
but
ask
something was capping.
Is your DD AFK? Or you can give me its location. I can come and check.
No, he says DD is there. Okay, DD is there. Interesting. I was just really curious. So the Amagi is trying to cap now. We will try to decap him. He's not paying attention to us. So we'll do this and we'll try to keep that slight point advantage that we have. I haven't played the ship in a while, so my aiming is not perfect yet. We got the decap at least. Good. And here we have the Iowa. So now the tricky part is like getting C back, because at some point it will probably flip if the Amagi is not spotted, and our Iowa is not really in a position to spot him right now.
Question. What is Batro Komimacha rewards the exact same mission as the Twitch inventory?
Yes, exactly. It's exactly the same mission.
Same thing.
We just like if you're on Twitch, we felt that it's kind of like counterintuitive that you would be watching Twitch. We have an automated system that can just grant you the mission, that you then have to redeem a bonus code to get the mission. So he basically gave you two options. If you don't have Twitch drops and you're not interested in that, you can still get the rewards, and otherwise you can just use Twitch drops.
Some questions regarding the balancing module balancing. That's also
From Gokar 311.
Yes.
Uh,
It's the answer is similar. Like we just made some changes last year. I think we're still. It's
Yes,
too early.
like the changes we had last year, they had some influence on which modules are chosen in those slots. Like, for example, if I remember correctly, the popularity of aiming system was lowered a bit, for example. Yes, the concealment system is considered one of the most important modules overall, but like I don't want to give it as only the personal experience. No leaks.
Leaks.
No. But I'm really
okay.
considering the gunboat builds without concealment system, mainly based on the new skills, which also increase my concealment range. So, but also give me more benefits in firepower. For example, for Khabarovsk or for some ways of playing Kleber, that might be a viable build without, based on maneuverability and firing range and damage per minute instead of concealment. That's just an idea. I haven't tried it out yet, but I definitely think that there is a space for that gameplay. It may sound unusual, it may sound different to what we are used to. However, there is always a space for experiments.
Somebody's commenting and complimenting us in the chat for the person who has tried the PTS and is impressed by some effects that we have introduced. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, we still have to. We will check this out on the next stream that we have. On PT, we added like some really cool effects to the game, so you should definitely take a look at this. Is the Tirpitz going to be the German destroyer here and torping the enemy destroyer? That would be amazing. I just have to be careful pushing into this.
Constantinus 334 saying that we should buff Smolensk. Did I read that right? Somebody wants
I guess
to buff
it's
Smolensk?
about because Smolensk now has less range, so we sometimes do get some questions about whether we're going to whether we're planning to do any balance changes for the chip. But just like Shonai said earlier today already, like we're still analyzing a lot of the data that we gathered throughout the last weeks, and whether we're going to make changes to ships, like the Flint or the Siegfried or for example Smolensk, will be determined then. So. Give us a bit of time. We hopefully will have some additional news soon.
Mr. Neil 1972, I think you should disable hardware acceleration if it's activated, because sometimes our web browser doesn't like that. So if your news is not loading, it could be something because of that. But if not, then please write us a ticket. We'll have a look at it.
She's giving me the opportunity.
Somebody saying Flint needs a buff urgently.
Well, Flint is definitely a ship that might be significantly
it.
impacted by the changes that we applied, but the same thing applies to Flint. We're looking at it, and as soon as we have news, we will let you know. Come on, accelerate.
This is very interesting tactic, full broadside, but the guns are still rotating.
So that hurt a bit, but it's okay. Yeah, I didn't turn very quickly, but it's okay. I can heal this, and we'll just set his heart on fire. That's okay.
Question from Mevco13. Guys, you suggest IFHE on Seattle, or is better keep high fire chance? So Crysantos right now plays with IFHE on. I believe
sorry, go ahead.
I think it's worth the trade-off. The IFH is worth the trade-off, but go on, Shonai. I mean, if I have it on my on my Seattle, IFH is activated. But Shonai is smiling. Maybe he has a different opinion.
Like I just wanted to say something along the lines that it is definitely a trade-off, and it's something around the about the targets which you choose. You are going to shoot more on battleships. Maybe IFHE is worth it. You are going to shoot on lighter cruisers and destroyers. Definitely don't worth to get IFHE, in my opinion. However, like you don't always can choose the target you wish, so it's more about how reliable you want the damage output be. You can get more without FHE by putting more fires and switching targets. On the other hand, you can get a more reliable source of white damage by simply shooting the target with direct damage.
And especially for Seattle, I think the rate of fire is quick enough that there is a chance that you will set a few fires anyway. And if you have a good aim, then you will definitely, you're guaranteed for some nice damage using IFHE. Let's see what Crysantos does here.
He is fast. Just gotta be
switch to AP. Interesting.
He was showing enough broadside for me to make it work. Like small caliber AP can be very devastating on broadsides. Like never underestimate this.
Killing modules.
You will maybe potentially see this with like the new German DD branch, which has very good AP, and it always that would be my answer to the topic of like would you choose IFHE or not. It really depends, as Shonai said, on the targets you want to find, because you have to kind of like what you're trying to balance out is or weigh against is, do you want to apply more HE alpha damage by being able to penetrate thicker armor layers, or would you like to set more fires? That's kind of like it breaks down to this. And if you want to figure out like, okay, how much does it help you? Take a look at the common ships you will fight and see like what platings you could penetrate with HE and without HE. With HE, it's very straightforward. Angle doesn't matter. It's really just about like whether your HE is strong enough to push through the armor, and then it will just do that. And now we'll switch to AP and see what we can do here to this broadside, if we still have the chance in terms of time.
This is gonna hurt.
No, it's okay.
This is gonna hurt.
For him?
Not so much.
No, it's 3k. I expect him to show more broadside, but we're winning by points. Thank you for the DD. Karamba did a great job here with actually being aggressive, knowing that the Seiyang is apparently not picking a fight against him. So he actually abused it in a sense by saying, "Hey, if you're not fighting me, I'll just push into your home cap on the enemy spawn, right?" And just grabbed it and just kept rotating, doing a lot of good work there. Really good job. So whoever requested like a light cruiser, we even managed to be top XP ship. Hashtag unplayable light cruiser these days in ranked. It's not possible to do anything in this match. No, it's
hashtag nerf Crysantos.
It's overall like if you want my piece of advice, ranked is a great opportunity to learn how to become better as a player, because you really have to focus on objectives. You will learn a lot about how to win battles if you just pay attention to why the enemy team might be winning the battles you lose, and learn from that experience. And the same thing is true for if you have ships you're still unsure about. This is a setup where you have basically a +-1 matchmaking, which is much nicer to you compared to, let's say, +-2 matchmaking you might face in regular random battles. So you can actually also learn how to play a ship in a better environment, but you still have to focus on what can that ship do to win and what it can't do. Like don't try to, for example, I don't know, build a Missouri into a Deadeye build. It's not really going to help you. You should really take the ship's advantages and apply it in that battle. So good job here. Overall, good battle by our team. So the only thing that I didn't like was this YOLO, so I also give him a report. Please play better next time. But I'm sure we have some additional questions here. And by the way, chat, feel free to give me another ship to play. What? Oh god, my chat was stuck. Oh yeah, here's a question from Snook Hooked, and he's asking, why have controls changed to where ships are sharing keys? You have shell type keys being the same as those to control which squadrons use.
And that happened because all the types of armament were standardized, brought to standard. Sorry for my poor English. Like both squadrons and types of shells and torpedoes, etc. These are all different kinds of armament, and they were brought to the same keys. So, for example, on hybrids, you have like your squadron in the same row of keys as the other types of armament, including, for example, torpedoes or shells.
You really still want a super container?
I need a super container. I need steel. Like
You need doubloons. That's what
I need doubloons, but I also need steel. Like the main resource I'm grinding is steel actually. But I don't want to get the Shikishima. She's too close to Yamato for my taste.
Oh, but the gun sound.
Yes, the gun sound is amazing. But now I'm considering getting FDR or waiting for the next steel ship.
Or thank God you didn't say or.
No, I'm really tempted to also get Austin because she's super situational. But I love the cruiser gameplay and I love living on the edge. There were some requests for a secondary setup, so I might just take my Pommern into battle with my Günther Lutyens. Do I have like a full secondary setup? Yeah, pretty much. So we'll go for this. I didn't go for fire prevention. I actually went for the additional heal. We're going to take that additional fire, which might be problematic, but you know what? We'll just try it out.
There is IFH in play, remember? Shonai, is a Ovechkin commander coming back anytime? Worth checking.
Like, we don't usually speak about when, especially in regards to collaborations.
Not when, but is it coming back? I think, okay, I'll make a note to ask.
Well, we can put it this way. There is a chance it might be coming back at some point in the future.
Oh, there is a big chance that it might not as well.
Look, never say never. Never say never.
Add to that.
Why Pommern? If I have on tier 9, if you want to play secondary battleships, you have a few choices, right? I mean, you can play tier 8, but overall, my recommendation to you would be use tier 9 if you have tier 9 available, because I mean, the way our game works is a tier 9 ship is going to perform on average better than a tier 8 ship. You can still use the tier 8 because you only have a +1 matchmaking, but overall, like my recommendation is take the top tier ship you can take into ranked. And then we have like a few secondary ships you can use. You can use, for example, Friedrich der Große, which would be a secondary, like a viable build. You get the Hydro, you get like an overall good ship, not the greatest, not the worst. It's a bit situational sometimes. If I compare the Pommern next to it, the Pommern has a high volume of shells, which I like. It also has great secondaries. It gets torpedoes, plus it gets Hydro. So for me, that's a great combination that I can use in a ranked battle to my advantage, because if I need to push, and that ship should actually push and not sit further back, I can use that. So overall, for me, it's one of the better picks. We have a Pommern over here. Of course, you also have Tirpitz and Bismarck available. But I like this combination of traits. Like if you ask me, like, why pick a certain ship, take a look at what you want to achieve. What kind of playstyle you're looking for. If I want to brawl, having torpedoes and Hydro is a great addition to what I want to do. Otherwise, you can also go, for example, for a Georgia. We saw earlier today, can be quite nasty with secondaries. Is great for pushing in. It's quite dynamic, has good guns. Less, only half of my guns, but 457mm guns. And yeah, it really depends on what you want to get, right?
Or if you want to snipe, you can take Izumo.
Yes. I mean, the Izumo is probably not my favorite pick for this, but still quite viable.
It's underrated.
Yeah. Why in ranked are there 100 battleships compared to 2 to 5 of other types? Well, I think that a lot of people just like to take out their battleships and have some fun with them. Let me just quickly check where do we want to go.
Also, we release a new battleship line in early access. That also is.
Yes, even though you don't really see them here because not a lot of people got access to Vittorio Veneto or Lepanto. But overall, like battleships in our game are very popular. You do get a setup here with less players, so you have to worry about less things compared to like random battles. We have 12 players. And overall, you know, I'm surprised to see no DDs at all, because in most of my ranked matches, there's a strong bias towards DDs or battleships. And yeah, in a setup like this, you basically can make a bit more use of your ships. You also have, because it's on tier 9 and tier 8, the CVs are going to be tier 8 CVs. So that's also something to keep in mind. Baye, which is basically an Izumo over here. And we see there's a lot of pushing going on towards B.
And I see a very random comment by Jamro saying, I think I need a spanking. I need more context and background on that.
I don't understand why these battleships are not moving to counter these guys. We have the Buffalo here. The good thing is we can do... Oh, he's full speed. Okay. We'll try to touch his broadside. Oh, somebody already did that. Let's see if we can get lucky as well.
Also, in regards to the number of battleships, there are a couple of things which we can talk about. First is the actual limit on number of battleships per team in one battle in ranked. So that big number of battleships you can see in matchmaking screen is yes, there are a lot of battleships there. However, you won't have like 7 battleships per site in ranked battles because of the limit. And the second thing is how the meta influences the choices. So when you see a lot of battleships, it's an obvious decision to take a destroyer if you can, or something with strong torpedoes and good concealment if you want to. And this in turn gets us to a big number of destroyers who can control key areas and deny freedom from battleships, and in turn it influences the appearance of cruisers, which are there to detect and to fight destroyers, to protect battleships. And this is the circle of meta, the circle of choices which each player, which is done by each individual player, and in turn it influences the situation as a whole. So it's natural that you will see, for example, a lot of battleships, and it will lead to a rather big amount of destroyers in the battles, and this in turn will lead to appearance of good and strong cruisers, which will in turn lead to battleships, etc., etc.
Okay, so now I need to reposition because our Izumo is unfortunately not helping B, and this means the enemy team will have a point lead, and we need to counter this. Okay, Buffalo unfortunately turned.
So you are now the assigned destroyer of the battle?
Well, I need to help my team, like to at least delay them and not also capture.
So you're gonna go and push them, right?
Yes, I'm trying to
literally push them. Literally push them.
Not YOLO, because it's me against 4 people with the Riga. Like this, it's the same thing when I talk about like if you use Deadeye, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be at the edge of the map. The same thing is true for a secondary build. Just because you have a secondary build doesn't mean you need to go like, I have a secondary build. The only thing I can do is sit at 5 kilometers and use my secondaries.
Mr. Conway will disagree.
Yes, he would disagree. That's true. You are going to be more efficient in that setup, right? If you get into that position because you have your skills set up for this. But if you die within like 1 minute because you overextended, then that build didn't help you at all. So try to, always read the situation and adjust, adapt. The skills will give you a good boost towards a certain, gameplay, but it doesn't mean you have to be locked into that gameplay. If you're like on 10k HP, you don't have to YOLO into use your secondaries. You can also fight on range and try to get advantage in other situations.
If
and our Riga is going to be.
You are better positioned than the enemy.
I mean, we will be able to punish their broadsides, hopefully, and
their 3 ships which were last spotted are in a totally random place.
Yes, but the Baye can probably circle around. Our Izumo is unfortunately not the greatest position. If they can get the Hipper, that would be a huge, huge thing because we're going to trade the Riga then. But right now it's 1 cap versus 1, and hopefully, that Hipper is no. Is he slowing down? No, not enough. So the Riga is tanking a lot. He's probably already at like 2 million potential. So I hope he will be able to, hang on there for a little bit longer while we try to make them pay.
Riga is fully capable of doing that.
Well, on 13k HP, the problem is the other Riga is also pushing. There's a Buffalo, 2 battleships.
It's like all against one.
Yeah. And now
And
this.
he's gone.
Yeah, now this point. That's why. Like any ship can only do a limited amount of things. You can put the strongest ship if he's 1 against 4 and doesn't adapt and adjust. It's not going to. So what I'll try to do now.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
So
Those
what we'll
Riga
try to do
shells,
now
right?
is like I hope he's going to get into my secondary range.
You hope.
Well, if he wants to cap, he'll have to get in here. Like I
Yes.
have a 12-kilometer setup, and now he's like I need the CV to actually spot. The question is how greedy is he going to be? It looks like he's playing it clever, and I need the CV to spot because otherwise we're going to lose this cap.
I think you will.
Okay, let me see if we can. I should have pushed in a bit more. I wanted to be angled away so I can use my secondaries without being locked into that position.
Oh.
Oh. Can my secondaries shoot in time? No, they're not going. The shots aren't going to arrive in time, unfortunately. Well played by that Riga, because he got away with the cap, and that's what I mean. Is unfortunately well played.
Shonai, there is an interesting question. Why don't the Japanese line have any interesting consumable, like except the spotter plane?
This is probably about the battleships,
Yes.
I guess.
Battleships.
IGN battleships as well as US Navy battleships were, if I remember correctly, the first 2 branches of battleships we had in the game. They were different in terms of their stats, what are they suited for, and at that moment it was sufficient. The game evolved and a lot of new different stuff appeared, and right now we have 2 basic, rather straightforward and easier to grasp lines of battleships, which are more user-friendly. For example, they are friendlier to the new player. It's easier to get the concept of playing a battleship in those, and that's perfectly fine. There are difficult and easy to use ships. There are gimmick heavy and gimmick light ships, and this leads to the same topic which we talked previously about the different choices you have. You may choose something easier and more basic. You may choose something gimmick heavy. The main thing here is that we want you to be able to choose something what you like, and for it to be balanced against other choices. That's the idea behind it. So we can call IGN and US ships a more basic, more somewhat easier set of ships for a beginner, for example. They are a bit more well-rounded, especially US Navy.
It's like a standard battleship template without gimmicks, but still deals decent amount of damage.
Yes. Like the Japanese ships are more for long-range shooting. The US Navy are a bit more all-arounders, but yes, these are the basic ones.
So secondaries, do your job, please, so we can focus on other things and get the cap. Here the Pommern using the torpedoes to deal with the Roma. That's what we want to get out of a ship like the Pommern, right? Let's see what the.
You didn't do
Armani
kill securing well enough there.
No, that's fine though. Like I would have loved to save him. I mean, that's exactly like if I could have saved him before, like if I could have killed him before he launched the torpedoes, that would have been what would have, potentially saved him. And I think he cares more about staying alive than losing like a potential kill. Okay, we'll have to get this cap. I hope the Cleveland can deal here with this. Going to use our heal, and
again, interesting question, but weird at the same time. Like, why don't Japanese and German battleships don't have radar? Just because they don't. None of the ships have them, and just how we brought them to the game to keep different line diversified and different from other nations. I don't know, Shonai, what do you want to add?
You're totally correct. Like maybe at some point in time we will have several more battleships with radar, or even a full branch of them. But this is one of the in-game gimmicks. This is not that tied to reality, for example, but in-game, yes, Raider is a pretty strong consumable, and giving it out to those ships just as is, it will have some influence on balance. So we will have to change something in stats of those ships to compensate for the Raider. So that's why they got.
It's just like Royal Navy has a very strong HE, right?
Yes.
Like that's their trademark. Are you gonna connect it to the torpedoes?
No. He has Hydro running, so I would be surprised if he got caught by them.
Not looking good.
No, this is not even tricky. This is straight up very unlikely to be.
The enemy is playing well.
Yeah, the enemy is doing the right moves.
That cruiser is really playing well. He's just kiting just around fine and being invisible almost all the time. Are you gonna eat one torpedo to give 3 torpedoes?
Yeah, well, one torpedo is going to hurt, but it's not going to be the end of the world. He's going to use the island here to beach. And I'll have to... Yeah, that's why I launched torpedoes in that way. Maybe we can get one. If... No, RNGCCs, no. No, just well played here by the enemy team. And with the CV focusing me as well, I won't be able to survive that long. Can we maybe... Thank you.
Ooh. That was nice.
There we go. Look, we tried. It's not like... Oh, we tried. Overall, like the Pommer, you can see that, even though we didn't really go for using the secondaries as much as we would if we just pushed in, right? We still got a good amount of damage out of it. We got 120k. Unfortunately, we were not able to... If I would have been like 600 meters closer to that Riga, I could have decapped him, and that would have potentially, at least made a stronger impact. But overall, like our team, just the way we deployed, nobody went to B. And as you could see, what I pointed out in the beginning happened. We lost C and B, which meant the points are in the favor of the enemy. We have to then commit and push in and make mistakes to get back into the points game. And that's how we lost. So we'll just say well played to the enemy team because they deserved that win. A
disgruntled player is asking, why the hell are you not playing tier 10s? How do I answer this question to him?
Because we're playing ranked, and the ranked season is currently on tier 8 and tier 9 in the Bronze League. With the Silver League, you will get access to tier 9.
Maybe expects Wargaming staff to enter ranked battle with tier 10.
Yes, exactly. This is what we.
Shonai, that's a feature suggestion for you. Please allow us to enter ranked battles with tier 10 on tier 8 and 9 battles. Possible? Is he with us? Did he just crash out? I think.
Oh, I think so. Yes. So let's just actually bring it to the two of us here. There we go, and just call him back in a second. Overall, so because somebody's saying here, so loss was apparent since start. Bad gameplay. Likewise, no, the loss was not apparent from the beginning, but you can see certain moves in the beginning where you then, as a team, have to kind of adapt and talk with each other. So if, for example, I saw this, I tried to, ping my team and tell them, hey, this is going to be a problematic area. Please focus there. Unfortunately, they didn't do this. It would have been really nice because, at least with my experience, I can tell that this is very likely to be one of the lynch points of the of the match, where we're probably going to have it much, much harder to actually win it. And this is why communication is key. This is about team play. The enemy team had a better plan from the beginning, so you as a team need to communicate, and that's why I highly incentivize you to talk with each other, use quick commands and so on, to kind of help each other. And, don't just play for yourself, play for the team, because at the end of the day, you only can win as a team, and that will give you more fun than just playing and, sitting in the back, for example, trying to apply a little bit of damage and then being really frustrated about not winning any battles.
Somebody's asking for Italian CVs.
Italian CVs, maybe in the future. I mean, we do have Italian cruisers now. We do have Italian battleships, and I hope there will be more branches from the Italian Navy in the future. Regia Marina. Please show secondary shots fired versus shots hit in that match. Absolutely, we can do this. Just give me a second. So in that Pommern, so we have that here. So we saved our star, by the way, with our performance. We have 66 hits, As you can see, we got this. Unfortunately, like our Riga tried. Like I'll give him a +1 because he really tried. It was not his fault, and that Riga played very well, using concealment whenever it was important. In terms of secondaries, we fired 474, 66 out of them hit. So not a great hit ratio, but we also were on basically max range when we engaged and not very close. So kind of to be expected in terms of hit ratio. And then the question is, what are we going to play next? Please don't say Marco Polo because I cannot give you that ship. Less than 15%. Yes, but that's the thing. Like, if I wanted to go into like, just think about the way this battle developed, right? If you're on max range, that's the secondaries on like 12 kilometers are not going to hit everything. And this is not even like I think it wasn't even like a full secondary build. But overall, secondaries can be very helpful, but they're not the deciding factor in that match that suddenly your ship is like twice as powerful. It will be more powerful, but in a specific scenario. Where can we get the torpedo pillows? Well, right now, nowhere. This is a topic. Wait, let me actually bring here Lordofdroid back. This is currently something that we still didn't find a good way how to be able to get them to you. Logistics is the biggest problem.
There are a couple of issues. First is a lot of these kind of special merchandise. Well, this is a smaller version. Special merchandise is produced when we meet you during some events, face to face, offline, which hasn't happened for almost a year now. The second thing is the bigger version of this is bloody hard to ship.
Yes, it's ridiculously expensive to ship.
Even for manufacturer, it's tricky. It's so expensive. It's just brain dead expensive to ship those things. Just because shipping is not by weight, but by volume most of the time. So we need to figure out a better solution for that. Somebody was suggesting inflatable. That has some potential, but it's not as good as this, soft and nice and mushy. So, yeah, we really want to do it and then give you some options to get that, but it's a bit complicated right now, just because of different factors that are listed.
Exactly. So let's see. Actually, chat, let me know what ship to play next. And I think we can play one more and answer a few more questions. I think Shonai has some internet problems, so I think we won't see him back. But if that changes, I'll let you know. The main issue is you don't get much back for the high captain point investment to boost secondaries. Skills are very expensive. Yes, that's true, but that's true for like a lot of other aspects of the game, right? If you, for example, go for a rather AA-focused build and you don't have a CV in the match, these points are kind of lost, right? If you go for like a Deadeye build, and then you like the way the battle works is suddenly you're closer than the actual triggering range, that won't help you as well. So it's always about the situational, benefit you get from certain skills. And a secondary build, yes, it has a very strong requirement for you to be close to the enemy to get the maximum worth out of it. But I also have to say, it's a lot of fun. And once you're in there, it's going to work. What I was doing here is I was rather kiting, and I couldn't really get into a position where I could use my secondaries to its maximum efficiency. On 12 kilometers, if the secondaries are firing, the enemy is maneuvering, obviously the shells are, not the most accurate. And that's the case. If you're closer, then it's going to be more accurate. And I know what you're trying to get at, right? If you say like, hey, I would like to get my secondary builds to be more accurate. And we're looking at the data. But overall, I think secondary builds are still very viable. I think the only thing that is actually going to be a bigger problem is not the performance of the secondaries in itself, but rather, if the meta is, for example, shifting away from brawling, then it will be more painful to get into that position to be able to apply the secondaries, which is a kind of like a different discussion to have.
I have two ship options for you.
Sure.
The question number one, cruiser or destroyer?
Because I don't know. You just tell me. I get to choose.
You get to choose. You want to play a cruiser or a destroyer? Because then you don't get to choose. Then you get the ship.
Okay, I'll play. I'll play cruiser.
Neptune then.
Neptune. Okay. Let me get.
If you would have picked a destroyer, then you would have gone with a slightly harder life of a Yugumovic torpedo booster.
I can do that as well. But since
No,
you
no, no.
decided, let me get my...
Somebody suggested this in the chat. I didn't make this up. So
Okay, sure. No, like overall they're good picks, and like not so great picks for rank, because at least for me, because I want to get some specific things out of this. But let's jump into this gameplay. Actually, can we do it like this? Yes.
Can I put this on my microphone?
So my Neptune. So for ranked, it's gonna be a tricky setup, right? Overall, radar would be very, very helpful, but it's a very dangerous life in a Neptune, and now I have to make the decision, and I think we're going to go with radar to get the maximum out of this. We will use aiming system modification 1 in this upgrade, and then I'll need a different commander. So we will actually change commander, and well, let's get.
Am I wearing it right? This is how you're supposed to wear it? What is it other one now?
No. Yeah, this way. Yeah, it's this way around.
No.
Look, with the open part should be in front. So let me get actually this commander here.
Oh my god.
So let's do instant retraining quickly.
How do I look? Oh wow, this actually doesn't look so bad.
So we still have 9 points available. Superintendent is good. Concealment expert is good. Now we will have to use priority target. I like this. Now the question is, I think RPF is going to be a nice addition to our build.
So you going radar or smoke?
Radar. Look, it's a ballsy build. It's a ballsy build because obviously, with the concealment that you have, you're 10.3 kilometers, right? We have a full concealment build with concealment expert, right? We get down to 10.3 kilometers. And as you can see, the radar is 10 kilometers. So as soon as we're spotted, we can basically push the radar, and it's very likely that the enemy DD will be spotted.
Don't get deleted.
And you have to hope that you don't get deleted. Exactly. We'll have to make clever use.
So I love playing the Royal Navy cruisers. You're like, your battle is either very short or short.
Yes, it's short is the life in a British light cruiser. Okay, let's just get some extra credits out of this, because we're below 1 billion, which is unacceptable. I'm still playing ranked. Yeah, Fresh Folks, today we're going to play ranked overall. By the way, this is still the bonus code if you want to get the extra mission. If you're wondering where can I actually find that extra mission that you're giving me for Italian tokens, I'll show this to you in a second. You can find it in your combat mission tabs. Kijatel on YouTube is asking, Crysantos, Italian ships, please. Today, unfortunately not, but we can play Italian ships in the next stream. We already played, like, the last stream was, I think, entirely only with Italian battleships. So it would be one of these missions, and it would be also called Complete 5 missions, where you have 5 base XP missions that you would need to do to get to Italian tokens. And, well, with this, we'll just jump into battle and see what's going to happen. Neptune is so squishy. It is. I mean, it's supposed to be squishy because it has a ridiculous rate of fire. It has hydro and radar or smoke, for example. If it wouldn't be squishy, all of this together would make it OP. So we see here an interesting setup. We have Ibuki, Edinburgh, Set 46, Loyang. Loyang is a good pick, even though you will struggle sometimes meeting something like a Jutland or other ships that have similar capabilities. What I would try is actually go with the set and ask him for smoke.
Good luck with that, yeah? Please. Please, can we have some... somebody's asking, do we play with the viewers? Yes, we do, but not today, because in rank you can't play.
Look, I'm sure there were actually even I can't play. In our rank queue. Let us know whether you actually played against us.
You mean they sniped you? Stream sniped you?
Not necessarily, but I'm sure that, even if you just play on the side, you might just end up in the same match. So the lightning says, okay, the lightning says he'll provide us with the smoke. The problem is we have to be very close to him.
Did he agree?
I think he said, yes, I will take A.
And then at the last moment say,
The good thing is they might have radar 2 here with the Edinburgh. So that's obviously the danger. I rather play around BC anyway, because I can use these islands, especially this, like, flat islands are gonna be our friends. Oh, and Pinzo is asking, when is Black coming back? Whenever we decide to put her back. We don't have any date for this, so...
Not, we haven't decided yet if it's coming back and when.
I mean, we have the option because, you know, as we said, there was like a 6 months cooldown in between removing her for steel. And now she, yeah, we'll see whether she's going to come back and how and so on. Expecting team play in World of Warships, Fitrox, I do. I actually...
He's such an optimist.
I am. And you know what? While, you know, I see a lot of people always being super salty about this, just try. The worst thing that can happen is that your team doesn't react. Best case scenarios, they're actually trying to help you. So why not try? Like, at the end of the day, this can, you know, make a big difference. And I would just encourage you to try. It can't hurt. So I'm pretty sure that it is trying to, you know, be on that side of the island.
Let's see if you get backstabbed.
Ragnar is asking, when are hybrids coming? Well, they're still in testing, so it will take a while. Ooh, and here we get the set. And the set will wake up to my beautiful rain of shells. And oh, there he goes. He's well angled right now. Let's see what we can do. Only one point. This double should hurt him. 2.6k. Oof. But our set took a lot of damage here. That's unfortunate. And he's just gonna beach here, unfortunately.
He's caught in the hydro, right? Yes, that's why.
Yeah, the enemy set just played it better because he was playing in the way that he angled against him and then had a nice cove here where he can just, you know, hide behind. It will be very hard for me to counter this. So I can maybe try to, you know, make him panic. Ah. I am spotted though. Ah, the ebook here.
This is gonna be fun. Now your source of smoke is gone.
Yes. I'm getting a citadel out of this. Like, I'm trying to highlight here that you know, enemy team should like our team should focus this enemy set. But it doesn't look like it's
Hammer of the Gods, you don't need to relink your Twitch. You just need to log in to see the missions.
Yes, exactly.
If you relink it.
This is the new system. If you want to claim your Twitch drop after, like, if you want to get it in game after claiming your Twitch drop on Twitch, you need to relink your account. You need to just relog into the game. So
come on, delete that thing.
Working on it. Oh, he has the bronze camera, I think.
Wow. No citadel yet? Oh, come on. Oh, did you use your radar? So, yes.
I used my radar, unfortunately.
Oh, now you will be focused a bit.
Yes. Oh, do I get a torpedo hit here? Yes, I got a torpedo hit on the Pommern. I mean...
Digger. Please consider reworking the bathtub battles. Oh, sorry, buddy. That's a long ask. Not gonna happen anytime soon, I'm afraid.
Can we help here with the Turpet?
Yes, we are not playing in division because, yeah, ranked. We can't play division in ranked.
Yeah, ranked, like divisions in ranked would be too strong. Like, it's okay for like a brawl, but in ranked it would be very unfair, right?
I'm twitching to play, but I'm happy that Santos has decided to sacrifice his win rate a bit today by trying out new ships, different ships, uncomfortable ships, some of them.
Yeah, it's okay though. I think we won most of the battles. I think we lost the Friesland and the Pommern game.
Yes, that's the thing. So when are you okay? You're just kiting away and away and away.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, unless I make a big mistake here, I can actually tank a lot. The problem is that our Odin will be focused here significantly by the enemy team, and that's going to cost us. Oh, hello. Can we do something? I mean, with that angle, I won't be able to do much.
But doesn't it mean that now you're the risk that you took of taking the radar, now you can't effectively use it? If you are just so far away to use it, like, make an impact.
Yes and no, but once more, this is then a topic of like, okay, I know I don't have the option to use that radar to its max efficiency. Now we got actually rid of 2 DDs, so that's good. So I will just reposition myself and try to make use of my ship in general. The radar is now not super useful anymore. And I could make more use of it, obviously, if there would be PDs, or I could, radar the Edinburgh. But overall, what I'm trying to achieve here now is just, just apply damage and make these BBs chase me. We'll watch the tops here, probably at this angle. Probably going to keep turning. And then we'll just, we deal a lot of damage anyway, and you just have to position yourself in a way that they cannot punish you with like a complete deletion of your ship. We still dealt like 55k damage, right? So it's not like we're not really doing much in this battle.
I mean, in this situation you are in, I would have loved to have smoke.
Look, don't get me wrong. Like I would have liked to get smoke here as well, but just like in the battle before with the Pommern, you don't always get the best case scenario. So you just have to know how to play the ship, even if you don't have the best case scenario. But
isn't smoke more applicable in terms of
in random
situation?
battles? I would say yes. In ranked, no. In ranked, the chance that you might have to use a radar to see what's behind an island, to know what is happening on that side, and we got another torpedo hit here, is just worth the trade-off in my opinion. If you want to play a ship that has a nice one, if you want to play a ship that has a good, that's gonna hurt. No, he got unlucky. If you want to play a ship that is really good in terms of like using the smoke and just farming. It's okay, but I would rather do this in random battles. In ranked, I think it's better to be able to be active and contest caps and so on, and put pressure on the enemy team, not by just sitting in the back and using your smoke.
If I was you, I would just press radar just to let
I paid for it. I should use it.
Yes. Like, come on. I took so much.
Okay. Look, here you go, just for you. Good.
Yes. Thank you.
So yeah, and this is the thing. Like we did 100k damage not using a smoke. Just because you don't have smoke doesn't mean you cannot engage. You just have to pick your fight, and that's why I think
somebody's saying heal, please. They're getting nervous.
Why? Like this is not
please.
max. Look, I can get basically 20k health out of it. This is maybe 10k.
Oh come on! You made a paper. 2 citadels and you are dead.
Okay. Chat, this is only for you. I would not use the heal right now, to be honest, because we're going to be able, we're going to basically not get any effect out of it after the first 10 seconds. So
then you can eat 1 citadel just in advance. How about that?
Yeah. I love the the risky gameplay, living on the edge, man, living on the edge.
What, that's the guy who took the radar over smoke? What
yes, exactly. That's why, like, that would be my pick. He's turning a bit. The challenging part about playing, for example, like a Neptune on range, is to actually hit something if the enemy is moving.
Where is their cruiser?
He ran away. Oh, we got high caliber. Okay, we're going to show full broadside here for a second, but we're behind the island, so nothing can spot us. Where are you going, buddy?
Wow, you reload the rainbow, the AP rainbow.
Yes. Adrenaline Rush, take it. Always take it, in my opinion. It's still, even for 3 points, one of the best skills in the game. You get basically like a 10, like towards the middle of the battle, you should probably already get a 10% buff.
Question regarding Jack Dunkirk and its special skill. I think we are kind of aware that some of our special captains are not so special in some of the skills provided because of the rework. We are looking at that.
Yeah.
We haven't forgotten them.
We do have good amount of potential damage. Are you going to still try to hit me?
Yes, of course.
We might. I hope we're not showing too much broadside here. This might be a citadel. Nope. Better luck next time, buddy.
Buddy. Buddy. You and the buddy.
Look, I don't know. Like, it's a very, very good match. I like it. I would have liked to nuke that set 46 more, but my aim was off. Sometimes that's why I also like to stick with one ship throughout a season, because you just learn so much more about how to play a ship specifically. Once you have like more than 2 or 3 battles in it, you learn how to like properly aim. You're not going to
relearn, not learn.
Like I have like 400 ships in my port. It's sometimes you realize once you shot the first or second, so it's like, yeah, it's this ship has slightly slower shell velocity and so on. So at least for like ranked, it gives me the option to focus on one ship and get the most out of it.
Very interesting question from somebody. What happened to Kitakami? Kitakami is a secret project. It's still ongoing.
Yes. It's with the Ministry of Balance.
Yes, it's not easy to get that bloody thing right. So we are working on it. It's not even on test server. Even we can't see it right now. So I think there's some shenanigans going around it.
Hello, Isumo. Can I touch your superstructure, please? If nobody else is going to nuke you. Hi. No, the fire going to get in the fire. Got him.
That was kill securing by somebody.
Look, he saved me from
you
eating
tried
a potential
kill
AP
securing.
salver from the Isumu, so I'll take it.
You're
You know my
almost-
opinion on this. I will never rage about somebody taking my kill, because there's no such thing in the game. But yeah, so we got a good amount of credits even out of this. Nice. We got a high caliber. We got even 2 torpedo hits, 358 hits on the enemy. Overall, good score. The Lightning did a good job, so we'll give him a +1. And unfortunately, I'm out of +1s. The Z46,
You
it's
can
not like he
report
did
him.
like a
You
really-
can report him.
No. If I would report anybody, it would be because he made a bad choice or he played against the team. That's when I would report somebody. He did not play against the team. He just made a tactical mistake against the Z46. Both of these have Hydro. The enemy, DD, knew he had an Ibuki to back him up and chose a safe spot to basically hide behind the island. I pinged this on the minimap, right, where the DD is very likely to go because it's a great spot to hide as a DD. Our DD decided to be in the open and take a riskier approach. So the Ibuki was able to shoot him, the DD was able to shoot him, and the Ibuki took him out while he was still in the Hydro range of the other set, while the other set was not accessible to me or anybody else. So it was just well played by the enemy set. That's just makes the difference between let's say, like a maybe good player against a very good player, how to approach certain situations. Yep. So, do we have any additional questions? Any plans? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Frozen Frosty is asking, any plans on adding other countries in the future? You mean, I guess, as new branches like we did with Italy? Potentially. That could be the case. We just have to be careful with, the whole check tree, like how much we add, because if it's like a minor nation, we might actually add it to like the pan nations that we have at the moment. So it depends a bit on the case, but I'm sure there will be more nations added to the game in the future, because we plan to have this game for a very long time. There are still many ships that are missing, and we'll try to add as many as we can.
As we say, we are just 5 years old, and we have,
learning to
And we
go
have-
to school soon.
as I see, we have 10 nations, and we're just 5 years old. We'll add more, definitely,
Yep.
more branches.
Full Praetorian outfit when is Happerfodder asking. Hey Happer, happy to see you here. I hope the weather is slowing down a bit in terms of
Hapa
cold.
is off, or no, he's not on. He's not on.
I saw an email, I think, today from him. No, actually, I saw him doing feedback, so I'm pretty sure he's working. There was a question here, and so for a full Praetorian setup, I guess that will be then with the next Italian branch. We can talk about
Somebody's
this.
asking when Sharks and Eagles are coming back. They're coming
Sharks.
back in different format.
Yes, I mean already that we're working on new modes. We have a cool event coming to you where you will be able to play in different factions against each other. So I hope you're going to like this. There was also a question here from Zero Hunter. Is there any new campaign mission or dry dock mission coming up? So if you mean like the dockyard, so we are going to have a new dockyard, which we already announced, and it's going to be happening with the release of the German DD branch split. So just pay attention to what's happening in the next update, and you will like in the update after the next one. So in 10.3 we will be potentially bringing this to you. So just stick around and let us know what you think about this. Add Austria and Switzerland. I would love to add the Swiss CVs. It's still one of my favorite pictures when I started playing World of Warships, and I think it was on the German forum section, and people were talking about, oh yes, we should definitely have like Swiss ships. And somebody was, just sharing a picture of a jet on a float in a lake. I love
But
that
it's
one.
close to what people ask for, Czech Navy.
Yes, exactly. Like a strong lake nation. Put that sex toy away, says somebody. It's just a plush torpedo. Whatever your dirty mind is reading into this plush torpedo is your dirty mind, not ours. We want more operations. So I know this topic comes up here very often, and maybe you
it's
missed
an
the
ongoing
answer.
thing now. I think this question is come like at least 2,500 times.
We understand that there's a core player base for playing operations. The sad truth, though, is that this sentiment is not shared by a lot of other players in terms of how they interact with operation, and that is not just true at the moment, right after a very long time of these operations being available, but there was already the case when these operations came out or when we added new operations. So most of you are playing PvP, maybe even co-op. So at least right now we're trying to focus our resources on other aspects of the game to make sure that most of you will benefit of the development work that we put into the game, which doesn't mean that there won't be new operations in the future or that we won't do more PvE stuff maybe at some point. It's just right now and for the past months, not our focus. So this will be the answer for the next few months. I can already tell you this. But as soon as
I
this,
wonder why you can tell this.
it's just it's just the truth. I don't want you to have wrong expectations when it comes to operations.
Okay.
But whenever this changes, the stance, we will let you know, and we will get you on board and see what we can do with operations or PvE content in general. What are you laughing so hard?
Thinking about what there will be plenty of stuff coming in next few months.
Yes, there will be plenty of stuff coming that we're going to talk. We have a lot of things to talk about.
I don't know if somebody clips it and plays it back to us so this
is what he meant exactly. Now you're scaring everybody.
Oh my god.
Leonardo CH is asking, how is the key battle going? It's going pretty well, and you can actually check it out on the PT right now. So go check it out. Now it's called Big Hunt, right? Go check it out. There won't be any keys anymore. Actually, we changed it. You don't need any keys to exit the portal. You will now be able to actually play in divisions from the get-go, but you will spawn in different places. So go take a look. Please share your feedback. I highly recommend you to check out the public test. And you can find all of the information about what's, at least the big picture of what's coming in the next update in our developer bulletin that was published yesterday on your regional portal. So just head to your local portal. You will find the information there.
Who the hell from Australia? What time is it in Australia? He's saying hello.
Hey!
Is it not too late or is it already morning there? It's already morning there, almost morning there, right?
Oh, and Ronaldo and Wards are asking on YouTube when submarines will be released in World of Warships. So the current state of submarines is we're still working on them. We already had a few tests. There will be more coming. But overall, because we learned that lesson from the CV work that we rushed this, and we don't want to be in that situation. So we're taking a lot of time and a lot of effort to make sure that once they come to the game, they will be as balanced as possible. So right now, I don't have any news except for that. Yes, we're still planning to release them. There will be more information at some point. Right now, we're very busy with, for example, commander skill rework and the aftermath of this to make sure that we can address the pain points that you raised with us, and then plenty of other stuff happening in between this and the submarine. So we'll keep you updated. So I hope that answers your questions at least. And Eddie Ekel is asking, Crysantos would love to have an option to complement the whole team recently in ranked matches where the whole team was great. I don't know if you. If you want to compliment all your compliments are gone. So in case of that, a compliment whole team button would be awesome. Eddie, I'm happy to share this internally, but I hope that at some point we will actually go to that feature and change something bigger about this. Because the way
please, okay.
I hope I'm not saying we're going to do this in the very near future, but I would love to see that feature getting a bit more love. And just for context, the way we address features is usually we don't go into a specific part of a feature and say we're going to change this tiny thing. If we see that there needs to be some work done about a mode, for example rank mode, we'll try to improve that mode or that feature on a bigger scale to make sure that that we'll invest enough resources to make it even better than it was before. So that's usually why we don't take these very small things. If we would tackle something like this, we would probably do something bigger with that feature in general.
We call it a day now.
Let's do 3 more questions. You pick the questions. So chat, if you have any questions, let's just go.
I can make up my own question.
You can. Yes. I mean, you can try.
There are no questions. There are a lot of comments, so I'm just waiting for.
I have a question here from Ridley Plays Badly, and it's a question that I don't want to answer. He says, Lordofdroid seems to be a very cool boss to have.
That's not a question. That's a fact.
That's just a fact. Exactly. It's even without a question mark. No, it's actually true. I hope you get to see this on a weekly basis. That I think, like the whole World of Warships team, we have a really good vibe with each other, and it's always fun to be here on streams and have friendly banter.
No, we do have a very good team, I have to say. Not just in Prague office, in overall, I think across the continents. It's just very lucky to be, working with people that you enjoy working with. It's really awesome and something that you really like.
And we always try to showcase also like the behind the scenes stuff that you get to meet people like Shonai, for example, or if you watch other regional streams from North America, from Asia, from our St. Petersburg office, where you get to see the people who are actually working on the game. Okay, so that's still three questions.
With the form, it's just nice, handy thing to have in the game in your hand. Like nothing. It could be
that torpedo seems to be glued to your hand.
It could be my phone, but that will be disrespectful. I don't know what else. Like there is for some reason a tape here, which is
why not? Maybe we need to tape Conway somewhere. I also want to highlight this beautiful little uni whale, I guess.
What the hell is that?
That's like a little uni whale.
That looks.
It's a unicorn whale that I got from one of our German
high or something? Why the eyes are so big?
Look, it's very it's colorful, and you can see the green obviously with the green screen. Magic. You want to hold it? Okay. So since you didn't pick any questions, I will pick 3 questions.
What? You distracted me. That's not fair.
Oh wow. See, now it's my fault.
Yes. Somebody's asking, can we have Nevada now that we have Oklahoma? The question's answer is copy paste. I feel like maybe.
The thing is that we would love to tell you these things, like, oh yes, this ship is going to come at a certain point in time, but we can only confirm the ships where we exactly know when it's going to come out and when we're 100% sure that it's going to happen. And to not raise any wrong expectations, we usually don't talk about release dates for ships. If we can share already a ship that is currently in testing, we do this very early on. Basically, as soon as it hits super test, you get to see the news on the development blog. And then just keep an eye on the development blog. So, of course, there is a chance whether it's going to make it, when it's like, and if yes, when. That's something I cannot answer to you right now. I want instant gratification now, wargaming. Good. Go into the game and give it to yourself. Play and reap rewards. Any more questions you want to pick?
Somebody asked me to comb my. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Comb my helmet and it kind of broke.
Not the highest quality helmet.
No. Oh no. Okay. I'm sorry. I bring shame to the family of the Legion.
Oh yeah, that's a narwhal. Kind of, yes, because narwhals. I hope you know the song, right? Narwhals living in the ocean, causing a commotion. Because they are so awesome. Great internet song, at least 10 years ago. Okay, cool. I am entitled. Me too. That's true. Will you ever add skill-based matchmaking? Maybe in the future, at least right now, that's not planned. What you have random battles, they're completely random. In ranked battles, you get a certain sorting by, basically how far somebody made it in the leagues. And then I think the best place actually when you get to fight against players of your own skill is probably in clan battles. And you also have the team aspect there. And will we ever be able to share our coin with other clan members to help them with our extra coins? Maybe in the future, at least it's not planned right now. But what you can do already is if you as a clan play a lot together and earn extra oil, you can use that oil to give rewards to all clan members through the clan system. And then last question, any news on Commander Jersey Schwersky coming to the armory? JBL, unfortunately not. I still have to talk about this. I'm sorry. It was my fault. It's a fair question. I hope, I'm pretty sure at some point he will come back, but I don't know. But I'll try to get him back for you, okay? I'll give my best. Zero Hunter says, thanks, Crysantos and Lordofdroid. Get a sleep for now. Night. Zero Hunter, thank you very much. This will also be us saying goodbye for today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you also got to see a little bit of ranked and why it's interesting, what you can do with it, the kind of things you want to change about it in the future. Please, if you have any feedback about the changes that we made about this season, just go on the forums and drop it there. We're reading all of your comments and sharing these with our developers so they can take a look at this. And otherwise, well, we'll be back next week, same place, same time. I guess with Mr. Conway being back here in the seat. Don't forget, tomorrow we have Armchair Admirals, and this is going to be hosted by Tucky. And I think it's a battle of Java C. So go take a look at this and join our amazing guests like Drachinifel. We also have Jingles. And just learn a bit about history. It's always great and fun, and also very interesting. For example, I'm not a big history buff, but when I watch this, it's like a great 2 hours. You learn so much about the history of World War II in particular.
Somebody's asking in caps, Jutland weekend when the Jutland happens, I guess.
I hope so. I will talk to Tucky and see which topic they will pick next. But Jutland is probably more in a few months' time when Jutland happened. And otherwise, I hope, I don't know, maybe Happafot, if you're still here in the chat, I'm not sure whether there's going to be an NA stream this week, but I hope so. And if it's happening, it's going to be at the same time as usual on Friday night.
Who are we raiding? Who are we raiding?
Who are we raiding? That's a very good question. Would you like to come up with a hashtag? Well, I pick somebody
I need
to
to
raid.
know who we are raiding so that we can humiliate the person properly.
You know what? We could go for hashtag narwhals, which is always nice. Yesterday was so funny. We raided yesterday one of our German CCs, and I think what the hashtag was something like clownfish are ballsy or something, and the guys didn't know the context and just thought like we're making fun of them and calling them clownfish. I felt a bit bad for
That's
Pash.
an interesting conversation to have.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so hashtag bring back black. That's a nice one, but I don't want to raid somebody with that hashtag. So please share a hashtag in chat and just copy, paste it, and I will pick somebody to raid. So chat, see you next time. Thank you for joining. We'll talk soon. Have a very great weekend if we don't see us before that. And you know the situation outdoors. Stay safe, right? Have a good one. Lordofdroid, any last words?
You gave me a tough job to create a hashtag. Thank you very much. But anyway, thank you for having me, and stay safe, guys, and I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.